In the heart of Sidi Bou Said, a small whitewashed village perched on a hill overlooking the Mediterranean Sea, there lived a humble spice seller named Karim. His shop, tucked away in a narrow alley filled with the scent of jasmine, was neither the largest nor the most popular in the village. Karim's livelihood depended on a loyal trickle of customers, housewives, cooks, and occasional tourists who wandered off the beaten path. Karim's spices were ordinary, much like his life. He lived alone in a modest house and spent his days grinding, blending, and packaging aromatic powders that colored the lives of others, but left his own existence gray and routine. He was content, though, finding peace in the rhythm of his work. One stormy evening, as rain pattered against his shop's wooden shutters, Karim noticed an old clay jar in the corner of his storeroom. He didn't remember how it got there or when he had last seen it. Covered in dust, its surface was engraved with intricate patterns that seemed to shimmer faintly under the flickering light of his oil lamp. Out of curiosity, Karim opened it. Inside, he found an odd blend of spices that released a fragrance unlike any he had ever encountered. The scent was warm yet soothing, vibrant yet calming. It seemed to carry with it a sense of joy, as if it held the essence of every happy memory ever experienced. Karim thought it might be an ancient recipe forgotten over time, a relic of a bygone era. He decided to experience with the mysterious blend. Mixing a small pinch into his usual spice packets, he placed them on the shelf without much expectation. The following day, something extraordinary happened. The first customer to buy Karim's new spice blend was a woman named Amina. Amina was well known in the village for her sharp tongue and frequent complaints. She rarely smiled and always seemed to carry the weight of the world on her shoulders. But when she returned home and used the spice in her evening stew, she felt an inexplicable wave of happiness wash over her. Her husband, who had grown used to her scolding, was stunned to see her laugh for the first time in years. Their children, sensing the shift in their mother's demeanor, joined her in laughter, and the household transformed into a scene of joy. Word spread quickly. Soon, more villagers flocked to Karim's shop, eager to purchase the magical spice blend. Karim was bewildered by the sudden rush, but he didn't question his good fortune. For the first time, his shop buzzed with activity. The spice, it seemed, had a profound effect on everyone who used it. A grumpy fisherman began singing cheerful tunes while mending his nets. A struggling artist found inspiration for her next masterpiece. Even the village elders, who often argued during their afternoon tea, started reminiscing about their youth with warm smiles. Karim's business flourished. Each day brought more customers, and the once quiet spice seller found himself at the center of attention. With his newfound success, Karim's life changed dramatically. His once humble shop expanded into a grand emporium adorned with vibrant banners and intricate tiles. Wealth poured in, allowing him to buy fine clothes, a luxurious house, and even a luxury car to display his status during market days. But as his fortunes grew, so did his arrogance. Karim began to believe that his success was entirely of his own making. He raised the prices of his spices, dismissing the concerns of his long-time customers. He stopped grinding spices himself, hiring workers to do the labor while he supervised from an ornate chair. The villagers noticed the change in Karim. The once kind man, who greeted everyone with a warm smile, now seemed cold and aloof. His laughter, once genuine, became hollow, reserved only for those who could afford his overpriced blends. One day, as Karim prepared a new batch of his famed spice blend, he realized something was wrong. The fragrance, once so rich and joyful, seemed dull. He added more of the mysterious blend from the clay jar, but the magic was gone. Panic set in. Karim searched every corner of his storeroom, hoping to find another jar, but there was none. The magical spice blend, it seemed, had been finite, and Karim had exhausted it without even understanding its origin. At first, Karim tried to hide the truth. He sold his regular spices at the same inflated prices, hoping no one would notice. But the villagers quickly realized the difference. The joy that had once filled their lives disappeared, leaving them feeling empty and deceived. Customers stopped coming, and Karim's grand emporium became eerily quiet. The wealth he had accumulated dwindled as he tried to maintain his extravagant lifestyle. The workers he had hired left one by one, and Karim found himself alone again, as he had been before. In the solitude of his empty shop, Karim reflected on what he had lost. He remembered the happiness his spices had brought to others and the simple satisfaction he had once found in his work. Slowly, he began to understand that the true magic had never been in the spices alone, but in the connections they fostered and the joy they spread. Determined to make amends, Karim started grinding and blending spices himself again. He lowered his prices and welcomed his customers with genuine warmth. Though the magical blend was gone, Karim focused on creating high-quality spices with care and dedication. It wasn't easy to regain the villagers' trust, but Karim persisted. He apologized to those he had wronged and offered his spices for free to those who couldn't afford them. Over time, the villagers began to forgive him. Though his shop never regained its former grandeur, it became a cherished part of the community once more. Karim learned to find happiness in the smiles of his customers and the knowledge that his work, however small, made their lives a little brighter. The spice seller's secret was not in the jar of magical spices, but in the humility and kindness with which he shared his craft. Greed and arrogance can blind us to what truly matters in life. Success is not measured by wealth or status, but by the positive impact we have on others. By staying humble and nurturing genuine connections, we can create a lasting legacy far more valuable than riches. Thanks for watching Wisdom Atlas. Share this story and subscribe for more inspiring journeys.